Good, good afternoon, guys. Thursday afternoon, our first edition of Side by Side. I'm glancing across at Nicole's computer to see what it's doing, and we're seeing that you should be able to see us by the look of it.
Looks good.
And just watching an audience build on there, but I'm not seeing it on here. Now I am. Awesome.
Cool.
So, guys, we're using the Be Live platform again tonight. It's the first time we've done a question and answer type one. Usually we use it for split screen, where we're talking to a special guest, and they can be from obviously all over the world via the internet. And today it's just simply Nicole and I, side by side, talking to you, answering some questions, and seeing how we go. Now, I'm going to get totally distracted. We've got lots of stuff going on here.
Cool. I had a crazy idea this morning about, actually we've been talking about it for a while, and I'm telling Brett that he needs to continue to build his brand. And you know that I'm always talking about, building your brand for your race team or your business. And so I've been nagging him, that's my job, about building his brand. And I said to him, maybe I should get on there and interview you. And we do a split screen and I actually interview you instead of you interviewing other people. And this morning I just said to him, you know what, let's just do a side-by-side and connect with you guys instead of, throwing him in the deep end, because I probably would have if I was interviewing him.
Thank you for the out, Nicole. I'll start off with a little bit of a Brett's rant, I guess. Those of you who know what we do and know what we're passionate about within drag racing and making drag racing great again, social media is a very hot topic at the moment, especially within our sport. There are people who believe it doesn't work. There are people who believe it does work. There are people who don't know if it works. That doesn't stop them saying it doesn't work. So I guess a little bit of my rant is that there's been a bit of speculation recently about good drivers not getting a ride because they don't have a profile. People with a profile who may not necessarily be a good driver are getting a ride because they've got a profile. Also, tracks, events, races, non-races, saying that social doesn't work, it doesn't, you need to use traditional formats. Obviously, you know my thoughts on it. We're working really, really hard to get a very special international guest on for probably not tomorrow, possibly Monday, who's going to talk to us about his personal experience, successful experience, using social media to promote events. In tonight's preparation, I was sort of thinking, how hard do I go on this rant? How negative do I be, which I don't want to be? And popped up in my feed just before we came on, Darren Carter from CRD, Carter Race Development. He posted a picture, and I'm just going to find it on my pad.
So while Brett does that, it was really interesting today. Something dawned on me about what's going through my feed at the moment. And I know that we've all got different interests and we have different feeds, but you guys know that we basically spend, all of our waking hours on social because that's what we do. We're incredibly passionate about it. We're incredibly passionate about the sport. And I actually said to him, I asked him about a particular event that I know is coming up in Australia. I'm not going to name the event, whatever, because that's not what we're about. But I said to him, when is such and such happening? Isn't it happening soon? And he said, he looked it up and it stopped me dead in tracks because it's not too far away. And I said to him, so why have I got so many events that are going on in the US at the moment coming through my feed, like massive stuff? I'm constantly, not only am I seeing the posts that are coming through from the actual promoters themselves, there's also so much conversation about it. It breaks my heart, seriously, because it's not happening here. And I said to him, it's amazing the difference in the way that people are promoting events over there to how it's happening here. And as I just said to you guys, it's breaking my heart because it can be done. It should be done. I can't believe it's not being done because it's not reaching the right people, if that makes sense.
So welcome to Brett's Rant, brought to you by Nicole.
Sorry, we just talk about this all day, every day, so it's really important.
Okay, so there's the
Hard to see.
hard to see picture.
Really hard to see.
Almost impossible to see.
That's when social media doesn't work.
So basically that is a photo of someone holding a flash drive in one hand and what looks like about 50 3.5-inch floppy disks, for those of us who are old enough to remember them, in their other hand. And it says,
we don't even have one in the house that I can hold up. So.
And the wording is 128 gig flash drive versus 132 megs worth of floppies. Now, Darren posted this because he has a machine at work. That computer still uses a 3.5-inch drive. His apprentice came up to him the other day and said, I know what this is, but which way does it go in? The reason I'm using that as an analogy is what we talk about whether social media is a good tool to promote the sport, promote yourself, whatever the case may be. Those of you who have me as a friend personally on Facebook would have seen a little ditty I put up the other night about how, and I won't get it right word for word, but I said something along the lines of, so social media is like the invention of the motor car, women's right to vote, equality in eating locations, electricity and electric light. All of these things that were the devil when they were first introduced. They were terrible. They were never going to catch on. I think I didn't say it in there, but I think Bill Gates actually said that, why would anyone ever want more than 4 meg worth of hard drive in their computer? And if we can sell a couple of hundred of these, people will be able to use them at home. Here we are today. We've all now got a voice thanks to Mr. Gates, Mr. Zuckerberg, etc., etc. So,
what did you call him?
It doesn't matter.
Zuckerberg.
Don't be scared of technology. The fact that, are we going to get left behind when I can now carry more information on a zip drive as big as my finger than a stack of digital discs this high? Same thing. If we don't embrace the technology that's available to us today, John Force would have thought this was Christmas back in the day when he had to go and knock on doors and print posters and beg people for him to do burnouts in their car park so that they would give him $20 for some gas money. And you've seen what the forces have done with social media today. The guy's 67 years old, whatever he is, and embracing today's technology because it is. We are all desktop publishers. We are all vloggers. We are all television show promoters. It's amazing what we can do and what reach you can have on a day-to-day basis. Our good friend Wes Buck this morning talked about it again, that, the reach you can have as an individual, the impact you can have. You won't get it right. It won't be perfect. He was having a bunch of technical problems this morning with freezing. They're trying some new software. They were having lots of drama. Doesn't matter. He was out there and he was doing it. And as he said on the call, you might not get it right, you might not get it perfect, but you're a long way in front of the guy who's not, guy or girl who's not doing it at all. Obviously we've built a business around helping you guys to do it professionally. Doesn't mean you can't be doing it yourselves at some level. Sorry, I'm just trying to read the questions. So that's a little bit of my rant around the social media side of things. It is 2017. We do know the stats. I mean, I'm not going to reel them off accurately now, but something like 70% of the millennials get their news from Facebook. We know how much screen time everybody. I'm 50 this year. I still have one of these in one hand, a telephone in the other hand, and the laptop on my knee. So
such an exciting life we live.
It is where we are going now, based around what Nick was talking about before. It's no good if your friends are seeing it.
Well, it is.
That helps.
Yeah.
But it's no good if only your friends are seeing it. It's like preaching to the choir on a Sunday. The church congregation's not going to get any bigger if you're just telling the choir, this is great and you should come back next week. You need to expand that circle of influence. You need to be targeting those people who don't know what it is. A great example would be we've got the Grand Prix on again in 2.5 weeks. Driving me to distraction at the moment, guys, but that's another story. There's not enough hours in the day, but all good. We've got some rock stars coming.
Hashtag divorce.
And we're going to bring some drag racing to a new club. But what I wanted to talk about was last year. This time 12 months ago, we were at the Grand Prix. We had the rock stars display. People up to our display, we had a top fuel dragster, a top alcohol dragster. We had a whole raft of awesome other vehicles. 2 dragsters, 300 inches and 280 inches long, pretty much sort of scream, I'm a drag racing car. I think everyone would agree with that. Gosh, that's a little in my face, Nicole. You've got the messages popping up in front of me. So, and people would literally walk up to us and point at each vehicle and say, what is that? And I would say, or one of the crews would say, it's a drag racing car. Okay, what do you do with it? And these were genuine questions from genuine people. And they were astounded when we told them some of the facts and figures that go around what these cars can and do. That to us was a huge wake-up call that ADRP had to step up another gear. I knew we had a mountain to climb to bring drag racing back to the #1 motorsport in this country. I didn't realise we hadn't even made base camp. I didn't realise how disconnected the general public are with the wonderful sport that we are all so passionate about. So when Nick and I do what we do, it's awesome that our friends see it. It's awesome that drag racers see it. It's great the support you all give us, the people who are on here tonight, and the 6,500, 7,500, whatever, fans we've got on ADRP and the 128,000 engagements we had this week. But what we concentrate on is getting it out to people who don't know. You guys already know it's on. Like what Nicole was talking about a minute ago about this event. It's not coming through my feed, and I'm a drag racing nut. So how is it going through Mary's feed and Bill's feed and Peter's feed, who are happy to pay $45 to go to the monster trucks? Yeah. They're happy to pay $35 and go to the AFL football. They want to go ice skating. They want to go to the movies. Why aren't we offering them the opportunity to come and see your awesome race cars, do something that is unique to anything else on the planet? Because we're not telling them it's on? That's just stupid. Rant over.
Really? I doubt it. Something that I was going to say, and we're not getting any questions, so we'll just keep going, is that Wes mentioned it this morning, and, you know, we know, we get up on a Thursday morning, we know that that's the first thing that we're going to watch, and it usually leads to really great conversation for us during the day. And if you haven't connected with Wes Buck and the Drag Illustrated team, go and do it. So they are on Facebook, they're on Instagram, and they're on Twitter, and their content is absolutely fantastic. So connect with those, you'll learn a lot, it makes you feel good, and their mission is to make drag racing great again, and they know that we're trying to do the same thing here with you guys. So something that Wes did mention this morning was people know when you're being authentic. And something that, you know, when I look at what different people do when they do their lives, you know, stop copying other people. Do your stuff. Be you, okay? Don't, I always say, you know, garner what you do and get ideas from what other people are doing, but just be yourself. So people know if you're being authentic. So, and I don't actually mean get on here and, you know, cuss and, you know, because we've seen that too, which is really damaging, and that's probably for another Facebook Live that we do. But we have watched over the past few months people cussing unnecessarily on not their racist page, but on their personal page, and that's a concern. So just, you know, come on, guys, we can do better. as a bunch of people. There's so many of us out there. There's so many people who are incredibly passionate about this sport. We see it online all the time. People are talking to us all day, every day. They're either loving us or hating us, which, either way, go for it. It's completely up to you. But connect with us because we really want to push the sport forward.
Those of you who know me know that I can swear like a trooper, and do. Never will you see me swear on Facebook. Never will you see me put it in a written word. The written word never disappears. Our sport deserves better than that. As I said, expect something different when you and I are having a beer quietly in the pits. But professionally, what we're putting forward as drag racing, we know we've got a slight handicap over our heads at the moment. The Boganism, the Tracy Grimshaw, you're all killing people on the freeway in your VL Commodores. No, Damien, we can't say that we have a favourite racer because we love you all, Damien Muscat. But that's okay. So, and with Damien Pop, there's a great example, guys. Damien has employed us to do work for him in the past. Damien does his own work as well. It's awesome. He puts himself out there. He works really hard. And he's got people connecting with him because exactly what Nick just said a minute ago, I've never met a more authentic man or a man who has his authenticity, just bleeds out of every pore of his body.
Yeah, and when he goes online, he doesn't, he's not putting on airs and graces. He doesn't pretend to be something that he's not. He's authentic and he's, speaks from his heart. And look, the passion from him and his entire team, hi guys, is amazing. And that probably has prompted me, people are saying, oh, why don't you promote this? Why don't you promote that? We hear you. Sometimes those things don't go through our feed, which we covered earlier, which we tend therefore not to grab because we're not seeing them. And yeah, as part of what we do, some people would say we probably should know about them already. But hey, we look at it as a two-way street. So we're expecting the work to be done by you guys as well as us. If you've got an event and you want us to talk about it, if you've got, we spoke about the Crisp family last weekend. The girls did a promotion at Repco. So, we tweeted about it and we insted about it because they let us know. If you've got something happening,
tell us. Seriously,
let us know. We will talk about it.
Now, we have got a couple of questions. Some I can answer and some I can't. Scott, Moit's Black Mustang, will it be coming back out? Yes, it's coming back out. I can't tell you when. I know when, but I can't tell you when. We were speaking to Paul earlier in the week. All I'll say is keep your eyes peeled. Keep an eye on Moit's Racing's Facebook page and ADRP's Facebook page as soon as Paul gives us the go-ahead as to when we can talk about it. That will be happening. Rock, that's awesome. You had your car on display in Adelaide. Thumbs up for helping drag racing and make drag racing great again.
Yep.
And yes, pointing at the black box on the back of the car, wanting to know what it was, and it's a parachute. That scares me, angers me, drives me. I'm so glad you were able to be there and show them and talk them through what exactly that was. So that's really awesome for the sport. And everybody is a key part of the sport. Every time, I'm going to get a little bit nostalgic here.
We don't do nostalgia.
Not in drag racing. When I was growing up as a kid, you turn 18, you're 19.
By the way, but
you're 18, you're 19. You're going to go out to the pub. You're going to have a few beers with your mates. Every time I walked out that door on a Friday night of my mum and dad's house, my mum would say to me, just remember, you're not only representing yourself, but you're representing this family. Every time you go out with your team shirt on, with your car, not only are you representing you, your family, and your race team, you're representing the sport with which we are trying so hard to get back to number one. So I hope any of you come down and see the display we put on at the Grand Prix. It will be the most professional we can possibly make that display. It will be as interactive as we can possibly make it. And we'll be converting as many people to get to events like the grand finals the following weekend, I think, in Adelaide, the May round in Sydney,
Oh, I did a list before.
Whenever you get Jambo coming up in
television.
Jambo coming up in Sydney. A little promotion here, and that's what it's all about, is that we will be having the Mags Top Alcohol Dragster also at the AAAA show at Jeff's Shed here, April, first week of April. Again, automotive related, but I will guarantee we have a lot of people who don't know what it is, and we'll be introducing them, slightly predisposed to cars, but them to the wonderful new sport of drag racing, because it's new, because no one knows about it. What else have we got? Jeff, look, that's a question for offline. If anyone wants to know, Jeff's asked a great question about what sort of costs are involved in getting a Facebook presence, in being able to get it up and going. Just shoot us an email to either, probably best to Nicole at ADRP, NICOLE at ADRP, or mine shorter, Brett at ADRP with 2 T's. And we can shoot you guys some information around what sort of costs would be involved in engaging us to assist you with that, what some of the tips and tricks are if you wish to try and get that up and going yourselves. There's lots of different things. And again, great segue, Jeff. Thank you. One thing that's close to my heart, Nicole always thinks I use an over-the-top analogy, but that's how I feel about it. And that is that the people who say social media doesn't work, I say to them, brain surgery doesn't work if I try to do it. I'm a nice guy, I'm reasonably good with my hands, I've used spanners and tools all my life, I can build a race car, I cut your head open to take the tumor out, you're going to die. End of story. If your aunties, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, girlfriends got 4,000 friends on Facebook and she Instagrams all the time, that doesn't qualify her to be a social media advocate for your team. Okay. Apparently that's a little extreme because people dying and social media, Nicole doesn't think they're on. I think they're up here, they're level, right? It is the new television. It is the new motor car. It is fire. That's how powerful the invention of the media, internet is to me.
It brings you back to that conversation that you had with Tuck about, if you want to race, you have to treat your team as a business. That, simple. Really? Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's what, part of your business, your racing business, is social and branding. Like if you're on the TV right now instead of being on social media, how would you be behaving?
Yeah. Okay. So perhaps a lesson now.
Would you get, I don't know how to explain it as you go.
So perhaps slightly less aggressive analogy is, in your race team, you have a crew, and each member in that crew has a certain allocation of job. He's the clutch guy. Does the clutch. No one else. Wheel system. We don't ask him to build the engine. He has a job that he's very good at. Subject matter experts. You don't ask the fuel guy to do the clutch. You don't ask the clutch guy to do the fuel. So why are you asking someone who isn't trained and competent in social media to represent you and build your social media profile? Because let's be honest, it is the new avenue for you to build your brand. It is, free according to some people. If you're doing your social media for free, it's worth every cent that you pay. That's the bottom line, because free doesn't work. Free, and you get 30 of your mates go, good job, this is awesome. I saw your car. Here, news already coming.
Yeah.
All right. If you're not getting to the current group.
And also, is your current social media generating interest from prospective sponsors? It's a huge one. We've been approached by people and brands for the people that we represent, simply because they're building their brand, and they're incredibly consistent. Now, yep, we keep those pages consistent, and that's what we're here for those guys. So if you've got somebody doing your social, sit down with them, talk about your consistency, talk about how you talk about sponsorship, talk about how you talk about upcoming events, how you wrap up your events, and how you approach the events while you're there. They're really important conversations. We got asked the other day by somebody, come up with topics. Off the top of my head, that I use, guys. So here's a photo of my go over the on the board. You've got to have a broad scope.
With and plan what you're going to do. We see so many people. It's race day, 70 posts. Here's me changing the spark plugs. Here's me getting a drink. Here's me racing. Here's me doing whatever I can do. Then tomorrow there's nothing.
Yeah, but there's the opposite of that. Sometimes they're at the track and we're too busy to post.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
That scares me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got both ends of the scale. You might have shown all of your posts leading up, then you give nothing over the weekend of racing. Do anything because you did it to the track and you spammed everybody. Those work consistent stamina when it comes to posts. Paris, we would love to see you on a bike. That would be very cool. So guys, shoot us any questions you want around social media. A lot of the questions so far haven't necessarily been in that core topic. That's cool. We'll answer what we can. But we've got Nicole here. She's got social media expert training and qualification. She knows how to penetrate and break through those walls of resistance. That's why we're lucky to have such what we believe is a great partnership. I think everybody knows that I've been a drag racer for more than 30 years.
Since 1956.
Not quite.
Okay.
I love the sport, second only to my family. It is what is discussed in this home 24/7, 365. We do need a hobby, and you do need a holiday.
Oh my God, you said it live.
But Nicole...
Alicia Buck would actually be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nicole is passionate about drag racing, but she's far more passionate and knowledgeable about social media, how it works, and how you can make it work for you. So take advantage of that.
I was going to say, maybe it's something that I can do, our next live that we do, is share with you guys what got me so heavily involved in social and how building my personal brand actually got me and landed me my dream job in social media that basically took me and my relationship with social. So it could be something that I do. It really is all about your brand. Yeah?
I'm smirking because I know what that call looks like. It's very cool.
It's not a call now. We used to actually do a training call similar to this, didn't we?
Yeah, in a previous business we had, Nicole, we didn't have the technology we have today. We didn't have live streaming. So we used to use Skype voice mainly or conference calls on telephone.
Wow. And
Nicole told her story back then in that world, and we called it Stone Cold Cash. And
yeah, I wish it was Stone Cold Cash now.
And that's pretty much what it'll be again this time, because that watershed moment, that breakthrough of how Nick was able to leverage her brand to basically, without giving it away, make these people have to employ her. So, yeah, Frank, I think I'd get shot if the holiday was at No Mercy.
Frank.
Indy, so that's as close to a holiday.
Oh my God,
We're frozen.
That's cool.
That's okay. That's cool.
Which surprises me because our gaming son is not home.
So we should have
have good internet.
multiple broadband bandwidth. So
I'm going to I really need to give a slight plug for one of our personal sponsors who supports our Facebook Live. Seen these yet? Seriously, guys? How gorgeous! So this is Imprint Industries. Jason Maggs does this. And so Top Fuel, we did sort of reduce the size because I had to transport it up to an event that we did for Mariani's. And these are so cool. If you want something that's unique, Brett's going to show you the whole lot. To hand out the kids or sell seriously, they are fantastic. And kids come up and ask them, we saw such and such with these, can we have one? So there you go, just supporting Jason and Imprint Industries.
Even Altereds, beach buggy's got to go.
And we do know he has done a sedan for Spud Racing. So there you go.
Yes.
So, and somebody has asked him about a bike too. So everybody is included. Cool.
And going back a little bit, for those of you who do attend the Automotive Expo at Jeff's Shed, you'll see another really cool thing that we've been working on with Imprint Industries. I'll keep that under my hat until... Yes, you're not. Keep that under our hat until we get the show up and going. We'll do a live probably from the event, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Another very cool marketing tool for you and your team, especially if you got a sponsor currently. It certainly helps, but it certainly doesn't hurt when you're in chasing a sponsor as well. I'm just looking at the questions. I can't see a whole bunch, guys. You're all
see Frank's actually put in like a flight number and everything for my next holiday.
He's bought the tickets. Awesome.
He's amazing.
We had a comment a moment ago, Frank, about the interview we did with you, how great it was, and very cool that we were able to grab you. Thank you so much for your contribution. We've been really fortunate that we've had some awesome guests recently. Going back, I looked at the very first thing we did in ADRP TV before Facebook Live was available. We did a YouTube video talking to Paul Moyet when he was over in America with that black car, driving it for the first time. So that's now 3 years ago, I think.
Wow. 2
or 3 years ago. We progressed from those non-visual audio style live YouTube. This time last year at the Grand Prix, Twitter over the first on a platform, and then enough in about.
Actually, it was May because Sydney approached us to help them with their socials for the Nitro Champs and Nitro Thunder.
Nitro Champs then.
That Champs, yep, sorry. And we did the first Facebook Lives in drag racing, which was exciting. And also did, we were doing Mariani's social at the same time. So I think one of the biggest videos that they...
Just had a live come on.
The biggest videos they had, he had on his page at the time was the live towback. So that was really cool. So yeah, that's great stuff.
It is. And now with the BeLive platform, we're able to do what we're doing tonight. As I said earlier, we've been able to get those awesome interviews, whether it be with Frank out in Dandenong, whether it be Wes Buck in America. We had Richie the other day talking about him coming out to drive Lamartina's Fuchs Dragster. So it's it's ever changing. The rate technology is changing a little bit along the lines of my rant earlier, is that you've got to keep up. I mean, we spend a large amount of time each week self-developing, finding out what's going on. So just having a quick look. The Purple EH won't be coming out, I think, Nicole, today. Until someone gives us a bucket full racing great again, then you'll see.
A bit of a story behind that, but we won't talk about it tonight.
And Spuds just let us know that the Spud Racing stickers will be available at Adelaide. Imprint Industries have come through, and they'll be looking very cool. Frank, get off the internet. Concentrate on putting Spud's engine back together for him. All right, guys, I think we've taken up enough of your Thursday evening. A quick plug for our show tomorrow. We will have, I believe, as long as everything stays in line, Australia's most current spectacular top fuel driver. Those of you who saw his effort at Sydney, Peter Ziberis, will be talking to us about the accident, his America trip that he's just home from, and all things top fuel drag racing in their world. So it'll be very interesting to get Pete on the line. We're still got to dot a couple of I's and cross a couple of T's. He's an incredibly busy man. For those of you who know I'll get his business name wrong. It is Premier Hire. Yeah. Guys, speak tonight. We'll pull the shoots on this.
Yeah, our first side by side. How it went, guys. I mean, I can give you more information we haven't covered. Go for it. Good.
Cool, guys. Thanks so much. Out at the track soon, and stay safe. Ciao. Okay.